There is not another single religion that has thrived under such persecution and oppression. Not only from the very beginning, their prophet, Jesus, was not accepted. That's not necessarily unique, but all the followers then being persecuted, seeing a martyrdom as early as Stephen in Acts chapter 7. This isn't even a decade after Christ's ascension, and Paul the Apostle, formerly called Saul, testifies of the letters that he was given to break into homes, to destroy families, all the way to the point of death, killing people. This is happening immediately after the ascension of Christ, and that was being done firstly by the Jews, and then as the church spread through Judaism and was spread by the diaspora, getting the Christians out from underneath the sect of Judaism just intensified the persecution by the Romans. Ignatius being killed, I was not familiar with the tradition that he was someone who literally sat on the lap of Jesus, was taught by Jesus as a child. That was, it's amazing to think of the evidence and the proof of the faith of the Christians for 300 years of bloodshed and war and attacking, that this religion continued to grow, so much so that Pliny writes, when he's trying to get the attention of the Caesar, Emperor Trajan, Pliny's letter to Emperor Trajan, he writes and says, the temples are becoming emptied because of the amount of converts that Christendom is getting. The temple is becoming emptied. Again, the contrast is being made. The carnal mind cannot comprehend how this is not a winning recipe, how killing people who adhere to a certain ideology, how that's not going to get people to stop believing in that ideology. It seems like a slam dunk. And someone would say, well, this persecution might have hurt the church, because Pliny testifies at the end of his letter that the temples were beginning to fill up again because of his methodology of forcing the Christians to renounce, worship these pagan gods, worship the emperor, and deny Christ, and the ones that didn't, he killed. So he thought this is probably the best recipe for success. And the fact that he saw the temples beginning to be filled again, to him, that was evidence that the methodology was working. But it wasn't, because shortly thereafter, one of the emperors becomes a Christian, and it becomes the state-sponsored religion of Rome. That's amazing that it could become that influential and grow that much under that persecution, on top of the fact that persecution, I think, served two purposes. It testified to the sincerity of the faith of these believers. No one would endure this, see this happen to somebody they know, someone they love, such as James, the brother of Christ. He saw what happened to Christ. He saw what happened to Jesus, and he becomes an apostle. He becomes the elder of the church in Jerusalem. No one would follow this path leading to death, to an uncertain promise. No one would follow that if there wasn't something real about it, something true about it. Polycarp seems to demonstrate this very principle of true Christians cannot deny Christ. This is exemplified in the book of Revelation again, when the final 3.5 years are unfolding during the Great Tribulation, and a statue is set up, an image is set up to figure out who's going to be a true Christian, who's going to be a follower of this new world order, this new world religion. And um, those who get the mark of the beast, the angel flying through heaven in Revelation chapter 14 tells us they cannot be saved. Don't get the mark. Don't do it. You can't. There's no redemption from that. So that's kind of the ultimate intensification of those that deny me before men, I will deny them before the Father. So Polycarp is an example of someone who struggles with this very truth and says, you know what? I can't do it. I can't recant. I can't repent. I have to go all the way, or else it hasn't truly sunk in.